Okay, so today's the day. I'm just about to take this car for an MOT. It's been starting and stopping and sort of driving and everything. Okay, I mean driving, obviously it's got no MOT, but I live down a little lane, which is quite cool, so you can kind of go down the lane to the road, spin around and then come back again, so without going on the public road, which is nice. So I've had my tyres fitted, so a couple of brand new front tyres. These were really bad, cracked and everything. Fortunately the back tyres look like they've been replaced sort of obviously not too long ago. They got plenty of tread, which is good. Pair of Continental ones, which is cool. Yeah, some concerns for the MOT. Front suspension, so if we can get in here, you can see these rubbers are not looking too good. Similarly, it's hard to get the phone in there, but sort of there, we'll see. Basically, it is what it is. If it needs work, we'll get the parts. Obviously parts are not that easy to get hold of for a car like this, but if we got to get them, we got to get them. We can order them from abroad or whatever. All things are possible, so we just see what happens basically. Some people kind of worry about, we might get advisories, but it's a truthful, recollection of events. If it gets an advisory, that's about it. Sort of as I said in the last video, really, rear suspension, they do suffer. They're quite exposed. This one's not that bad actually. Some are worse. Yeah, I mean, it's not ideal, but it's obviously been sat for a little while, but we'll just see what happens. All the lights work and everything, so I've done some basic checks. It's obviously got its tyres, and we just put it in and see what happens. So yeah, see you on the other side. Okay, well, I have an update. I have just returned from the MOT station, and check this out. It says pass. So we've got some advisories, massive surprise. So a near side front suspension, pin, arm pin or bush worn but not resulting in excessive movement, and same for the offside. So both front suspension arm, pin or bush worn, yeah. Brake pipe corroded, covered in grease or other material, near side and offside. So yeah, basically kind of what we expected, really. Corrosion at the back, yeah, and on the both sides, and front suspension both sides. I mean, to be fair, it's passed, I obviously repair a few cars, so I do get a few MOTs done, but I don't really know the garage where I take the MOTs. It's just literally the nearest one to my house. So I just rock up like any other member of the public, and yeah, and get my MOTs. So that's what it is. The most impressive thing, which I didn't quite realise, I knew this car had sat around for a little while, but just looking at the last MOT, it was last MOT'd December 2020, 27,453 miles, and this MOT is 7 miles later. So in, what's that, 3.5 years, it's done 7 miles. I really didn't, obviously in that 3.5 years, it's driven for some of that, but it's only done 7 miles. So this car has sat for over 3 years, and now it's running again. Yeah, which is quite staggering, really, to be honest. I mean, the brakes are still really noisy, massive surprise. They will clean up, to be fair. There's plenty on the pads, but obviously, because it's an electric car, it does regen when you take your foot off the brake, so it uses the motor as a generator. So you get like braking effects from the motor, and then it recharges the battery, kind of thing. Yeah, I'm sort of slightly surprised, really, to be honest. I was expecting a list of jobs to do, but yeah, fantastic. So in terms of now, what do I need to do with the car? So I was chatting to a garage sort of down the road, other direction to the MOT garage, and they need a courtesy car, basically. So I said to them, I've got this little car, and we had a quick chat about it, and I basically said, well, I'll drop it off to you and just use it for a bit, and if you want it, you can buy it, and if you don't want it, then bring it back, sort of thing. Overall, I mean, like the rear arches, I've seen them with really bad bubbling on here. It's not that bad. It wants a bit of tidying up for the corrosion, but that being done, this should keep running for a while. And because they're quite close, that garage, if they have any problems, I can sort them out for them. So it's perfect, to be fair. A little courtesy car. I haven't obviously tested the range. I've only been, it's like about 3/4 of a mile to the end of the road to the MOT station. So I don't know what the range is like. I did do a full load test, so I put my foot flat to the floor just to load the batteries, and if you get any worn batteries that have high internal resistance, so that means the voltage will really sag under load, then that's obviously an issue. But yeah, that was all fine. It just kept accelerating, all fine. So I need to do a full range test. So I need to go and flatten the battery. I need to make sure that it doesn't break down before it's totally flat, and then yeah, fully charge it and see what happens. Go and get on the fast A road and hammer it and see what happens. Check the range is good and everything, you know, it keeps driving and charging, do a full charge, all that kind of stuff. I've noticed the mat is really annoying, that just moves around. That needs sorting out because that's not really safe. That could get wedged on the pedal sort of thing. The other thing, so just in terms of things that need tidying up basically, so I can take it to the yeah, to that garage. So it's got this charge cable is a 13 amp one, this being an early car. Some of them came with these. So if you buy a 3-pin charge cable now, it will be 10 amps, not 13 amps, because although 13 amps is a max, it's not really safe for continuous use. And basically what happens is exactly what's happened to this one. So if you look at this pin, that's kind of melted, and that'll be because there's a fuse in here. And it's just got hot and it's just melting the plastic, which kind of proves that's not safe. So I've ordered another cable on eBay, just yeah, just a bog standard cable, but obviously one that's not 13 amps, a 10 amp one. But yeah, looking around this car, telltales that it's been serviced. See all the door locks, yeah, have all been greased, so it's been looked after. It's basically been a company car. That's what's on the V5, and then I think a sales guy had it. I think they probably auctioned it, and then the sales guy said it's like a used car sales place. He bought it with a load of other cars, presumably at auction. He said that he drove it around the lot for a bit, didn't really know much about electric cars, and then it stopped working. So I was like, okay, fair enough. So whether that's totally true, I don't know, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, basically it works, it's all good. I'm quite pleased, a little bit surprised, but yeah, so a bit of tidying up, and it'll be gone. What I will do is sort of I'm going to do some man maths of you know what this would cost. So if you have one of these cars and it has a major fault like that and it needs the battery out, there's another couple of other major things that can happen, but yeah, if it needs something like a battery repair, is it actually economically, you know, viable? And realistically, in terms of price, because I was chatting to the garage that might have it as a courtesy car, you know, what is it worth? And I said to him, well, it's a couple of grand, you know, yeah, sort of 2 grand, something around there. I had 2 of these about 3-4 months ago, and sold them, so I kind of know one was nicer than the other and stuff. So I've sold some of these recently, so that's about the money. This is obviously older, this is quite an old one, but then it's quite low mileage, so you know, it's a little bit swings and roundabouts there. But yeah, so whereas I used to fix these, well, I fixed these for the last few years, 3-4 years I've been doing these ones, and I used to sell them for like 4.5 grand, so like kind of just after COVID effectively. So yeah, they've really gone down in value, but that's because better EVs are available, which is great, and these are cheap, which is cool. It's just where it is. So, but what it means obviously is, you know, repair costs don't go down. If anything, they go up, obviously. So yeah, I'll do a bit of man maths, and we'll do a little video on that. But yeah, there we go, there it is in black and white. So yeah, I think I need to tax it now because it's got no tax, but I can do that now. It's got MOT, and yeah, it's all good. Right, catch you later.